All right, no be smart, following the mass failure in the recent concluded JAMB examinations, the registrar don't come out, come dey apologize, so the man come dey cry, say him take responsibility of wetin really happen. Well, a lot of persons don't they react, don't they talk different things. I would like make you watch this video, see people's reaction on this matter. Don't forget to share your own opinion as well. Well, some kind of things where they happen. Even with this one now, plenty people don't they attribute them. Some say na religious matter, some say na because the man na Muslim, he just wanted to suffer the Christian. Some say na tribal. In fact, everything for this country now they politicize. People don't come tire, say wetin be this. Anyway, watch the video. Make yourself share your own opinion in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And they come.
Nigerians have been reacting to the admission by the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board that a technical error compromised the results of more than 370,000 candidates in the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination at 157 centers nationwide. JAMB Registrar Ishak Oluyode, during a press conference in Abuja, broke down in tears, saying that he holds himself personally responsible for the error and for the negligence of the service provider, and then proceeded to tender an unreserved apology. Let's take a look before we share some reactions.
As Registrar of JAMB, I hold myself personally responsible including for the negligence of the service provider and I unreservedly apologize for it. We unanimously agreed that each state of the Federation be sampled. No sign of any abnormality so far has been detected in any center outside the ones mentioned. So I appeal to the candidates and those affected by the error of our system to accept the explanation I've given as the truth on this matter. I apologize and take full responsibility, not just in words. I want to say a big thank you to all of you, and may God bless us all.
Thank you. Thank you.
This was quite commendable by the JAMB Registrar, owning responsibility to this sort of, I would call it tragedy, because a 19-year-old girl died, Temileyin, I believe her name is, like you said, Dr. Abati. And, JAMB has said that they will conduct a rescheduled UTME for all affected candidates starting Friday, May 16th, and the candidates will be notified via SMS and email and phone calls. But Nigerians have reacted. Let me take this Kalu Aja's tweet. He wrote, "My thoughts are with Nigeria's children who face mental trauma from their nation for wanting to sit for an exam. The JAMB exam is pivotal for every Nigerian child, determining higher education and future opportunities. Students spend a year preparing with extra classes, coaching, and pressure from parents, schools, and peers. Imagine the emotional roller coaster they've endured. Anxiety before the exam, stress during the exam, shame for failing, depression. Now, what do they feel? Relief? If Nigeria were more organized, these children would receive psychological evaluations before being asked to rewrite an exam. They were told they failed due to no fault of theirs. We have scarred these children and the nation. If a child fails to resist, will they accept the result? Will parents not claim the entire process is now fruits of a poisonous tree? These kids need strong counseling. I pray parents, teachers, guardians, and state governments provide this emotional support. Children are too young for Nigeria to happen to them. And, I think Kalu Aja's tweet is quite apt, especially, about the emotional support that these children that have to rewrite this exam may feel after they were told that they failed. Yesterday on What's Trending, we played those videos of those young girls, and we had a conversation actually after the show about students who say, listen, I know what I wrote in my exam. I know I did not fail. And I told you guys yesterday that this is what I tell my children. I ask them, did you pass? And when they tell me I'm not sure, I say, then you failed because you don't know what you wrote. But if you're sure and you're confident in what you have written, then you know that you really deserve the credit that you got. Let me take another tweet, which, a lot of people have talked about. This is from Idan, who wrote, so it's possible they tampered with this girl's result from the back end. JAMB has proven time and again that it can't be trusted with something as critical as an exam that determines the future of thousands. A child has already taken their own life because of this. And that's the picture of, I believe, Mesoma, the young girl who, I believe last year was, she had said that JAMB had tampered with her result and that there was a finding, and then they said that, it wasn't JAMB, that she had cheated. And these are the sort of conversations Nigerians are asking, hey, what's really happening? Why did this happen? But it's good that JAMB has accepted responsibility. We hope that the federal government find a way to, provide some sort of counseling for our children, for them to be able to take the next step of their life with confidence. Vimbai.
Earlier when we touched on this topic, I gave a bit of the historical antecedent,
yes,
which is why, because some people might wonder, well, why is this such an emotional issue? It's because there's a historic legacy around it, where we've seen, I read some newspaper front pages from the past, 1993, where they were reporting that what is the future of JAMB? There's too much controversy. Should in that particular article in 1993, they were saying, should it be scrapped in totality? In 1998, when JAMB was celebrating 20 years, they were saying after 20 years, did JAMB deserve a pass mark for the work that they have done? And it's the same story over and over again. I just opened another one now from 1997. PM News front page, JAMB announces 95,000 results. Lagos candidates most affected. So there's a systemic thing, recurring issues that we're seeing, which shows you that, yes, as much as this one is a technical glitch, it shows you that there's also a cultural issue within the organization, yes, that needs to be looked at. Now, why are we highlighting Professor Oloyede? Because Professor Oloyede is one of those few people who've been bold enough to actually come and face it and confront it head on and say, we have made a mistake. There is a challenge, there's an issue. So I hope that this can be a turning point in this organization. Now for those students, oh my goodness, if you see how students around the world feel when it's time for GCSEs, O-levels, A-levels, it is a time of high stress and anxiety because this is a rite of passage into adulthood. We know the situation in Nigeria and how difficult it is already to get a job, even with the degree, with the certificate, with the qualification, even with that. And now you say, just to get the admission into the university is a struggle as well. So I think that definitely we need more support structures for our students, not just as a means of damage control because something has happened, but generally. How supportive are we? Because even if you look at the actual quality of education itself, there's some issues that need to be addressed there. Now there are issues of mental health surrounding, especially exam periods and so forth. Those are issues that we really need to look at holistically when we are looking at education and issues surrounding education. Very lastly, Minister of Education had made a statement saying that this was a sign of some corrections that they had made to address exam malpractice. And I wish he maybe hadn't rushed to make that statement because it's now clear that there really was an error.
Dr. Abbott, I believe you want to say something.
Okay, this point about systemic failure, should be backed by appropriate context. Yes, there were problems in JAMB, but in the past, all these 1997 articles, 1996 articles, those were issues in the past. When Professor Oloyede took over in 2016, he took over from Professor Dibu Ejerinde, One of the things he has been praised for is the reforms that he has been able to initiate in the place in terms of, staffing, in terms of computer-based test systems, in terms of revenue generation, in terms of transparency and accountability. So it would be incorrect to use articles from 1997 to assess the JAMB of today. The second point, which Professor Loede himself made, is that, look, man proposes, God disposes. But in this case, the big tragedy is that a life was lost.
Yes.
The remedy that is now being applied will not apply to Timileyin Okweshusi, who committed suicide. Now, what exactly happened is the deployment of what they call a software patch, which they now discovered that some of the service providers could not apply properly. Which means that if you wrote an exam, you answered 100 questions in a particular subject, because of the wrong deployment of that software patch, you may be assessed only for 25 or 50 questions. And then the remaining 50 questions will not be uploaded. And that is why I think the challenge for JAMB is to realize that technology is not perfect. And that, it's a trial and error process until you perfect it. Usually before any exam, there is mock examination where all these things are tested. Still, it failed. That means that's an area, as Professor Loede continues with his reform, that he has to look at. Now, opportunities have now been given for remedial exam. The reason they have to do it within this available window very quickly is because WAEC is also running exams. Some of these students who are going to write this exam, they also have WAEC exams. After WAEC exam, there is NECO. Universities are going to, go back. There will be resumption in September. So there's timing. But I just hope that the appropriate lessons will be learned on all sides.
All right, very well said, Joel. Well, I hope that, those students are able to get the courage that they need to rewrite the exam. And good luck to them, really, especially the ones that say, hey, I'm brilliant, don't mess with me, really. I said that before. Well, meanwhile, let's talk about this, systemic